Morning, everyone. Are you ready to make a milkshake and make a fun fold? I'm so happy you're here with me. Good morning, Mary. How are you? It's pretty cool here in Ohio, too, and rainy. Um, Today is Friday, April 28th, 2023. I'm Kathy Ondas with Simply Cards by Kathy. Today, I thought we'd use the bundle Make a Milkshake and do it for a fun fold. I'm thinking on Fridays I will be doing a different fun fold every Friday with the stamp sets and dies that are coming out in the new catalog, which I'm excited about. So today I had just purchased the Make a Milkshake. It actually just came to me Wednesday. It was one that was in the January to April 2023 mini catalog. And I wasn't really sure if it would carry over, so I kind of waited to buy it. And lo and behold, it's in the new annual catalog, which comes out on Tuesday. So I'm going to stop talking and I am going to flip us down and we're going to get started. Okay, hopefully you can see and hear me well. I am going to show you the new catalog. Now, you know, and I know I can't open this until Tuesday, but I am dying to open it and show you things in there. So if you don't have a catalog and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be happy to send you a catalog in the mail. Just go right down below in this post and click my website and contact me, send me your address, and I'll get it out in the mail to you. I would be honored to have the opportunity to earn your business. So we are going to make this fun fold today where the Share a Milkshake meets the Scalloped contour dies. So I'm going to bring this in for you. This is a photopolymer stamp set with lots of pieces to it. And today we're going to be making a milkshake instead of the sundaes or ice cream. And it does have matching dies, and I think the dies are so cute. I'm going to bring those out for you to see for a minute. You could make a waffle cone. You can cut out the sundae. Now, you could even use this as a vase for flowers if you wanted to pair it up with another stamp set, which I know I'll be doing in the future. These little pieces here you can cut out, and it could be like a chocolate syrup or a strawberry syrup. These are the little ice creams, and you're going to see this. I actually have an extra one here that I want to show you. This actually cuts a little slit in the ice cream scoop where you can put a spoon or a straw, and those are right here where you'll cut those out with the dies. So lots of fun pieces, parts, hearts that don't have anything to do other than to tell someone you care about them or love them, and even a little cherry, which we're going to be using today. So the other dies I'm using is Stitched Rectangle, and they are retiring. So with this, I am using, and please don't worry about measurements or anything. Everything is going to be in a link to my blog right down below in the description of this video. By 6 p.m. this evening, that blog post will be done. And it'll tell you exactly what dies I use, the products, the colors, and the measurements. And the last one we're using is the Scalloped contour dies. And with this, I use the second largest die. So another fun stamp set. So two that aren't retiring and one that is. So I will really miss the stitched rectangles. All right, we're going to bring in our pieces and parts. And I've done a lot of prep work and cutting things ahead of time. So we are going to get started. So I did cut a piece for our envelope. We're going to set that off to the side. Now this is 7 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2, like we would normal card. And I'm going to go ahead and fold it onto the score line, and we're going to burnish it with our bone folder. You have, Mary, you have the stitched rectangle dies. I love them too. I am really going to miss them. So we now have, you have a 1.5 inch piece here. Now the designer series paper I'm using today is Dandy Designs. It was in the mini catalog, and this is cut at 1 3/8 by 4. No, wait a minute. Yeah, 1 3/8 by 4 3/8. And we're going to go ahead and adhere it. You can see I have two. I'm going to adhere one to the back here also, just because I wanted to kind of dress up the inside a little bit. So let's go ahead and we're going to pop these on. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy you found me. Oh, Mary, you have the milkshake dies too. I know. I just love them. I'm sorry I didn't order them sooner. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy you found me. And if you are returning like Mary, thank you so much for your support in being here with me and helping me grow my channel. And if you are watching on the replay, thank you. I am so happy that you continue to follow me and come back to watch. We're going to go ahead and add this piece and kind of get that out of the way. One new glue and I can't get it to open up, so we just switch to another one. Now I'm using the multi-purpose glue. You can use your Stamp & Seal or Stamp & Seal Plus. I just like the glue because it gives me a little bit of room to kind of wiggle it and move it around. Now for the inside, I used another piece of that Dandy Designs, and you can see this has actually fresh freesia in it. I don't know if you can see the little stripes up there. It has pale papaya, or no, I'm sorry, petal pink, and then calypso coral. So I did cut a piece of petal pink, and we're going to go ahead and get this attached. And then we're going to do some stamping. So this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I just want to scoot this down a little bit, which hence is why I use the glue. And we're going to set this off to the side. Okay, now I'm going to bring in a piece of white scrap paper that we're going to use for stamping. And the colors I'm using are Fresh Freesia, Pale Pink, and Sweet Sorbet. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the Fresh Freesia. And I am going to use that for my two-step stamp for the soda glass or the milkshake glass. Now, because this is a photopolymer stamp set, I am going to use my piercing mat so that I get a nice crisp image. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to bring that in for you. Now, you have I call them the base or the background stamp, which is the flat stamp. And then I call this the detailed or second step stamp. So I am going to do the detailed stamp first, and I'm going to ink up, and this is a brand new Fresh Freesia pad, and we're just going to go ahead and give that a good press, and that looks good. So now I want to do my solid image or the background image, and with this I'm going to stamp off a little bit because I want it just a little bit lighter. And then you're going to, because it's a photopolymer, you can see through it. And there's our soda glass. So that's done. So now I want to stamp 2 straws. And in the set, you get a solid straw and one that's kind of like striped. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp 2 of these. And I'm stamping sideways here. And we are done with the fresh freesia. So now we want to do, I'm going to do the top for my milkshake. And we're going to use petal pink for that one. I hope you have some fun plans for the weekend. I do not, other than stamping and doing some cards and spending some time with the grandchildren. It is supposed to be rainy and really yucky here all weekend. I'm in Northeast Ohio, a little bit west of Cleveland, and our weather is not going to be very good for the next 2 weeks. So now I'm using sweet sorbet, and I want to stamp the cherry for the top of my milkshake. And then the only other thing for me to stamp is going to be my greeting. And I'm going to use the Celebrate from the Share a Milkshake stamp set. It's a mouthful. So, and I'm just going to stamp this right here. All right. So we have everything stamped that we're going to need. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pull out the dies that we're going to use, and we're going to get these cut all in one motion. Oh, Mary, you're getting rain. Yeah, we are too. It's really cold here. I had really thought that was kind of over. So I'm going to place my dies down. I always tape my dies because I find they slide around on me, and then I don't get the nice cut images that I want. You can use some washi tape, works well to tape your dies down. I use the Post-it note tape. It works well for me, and I've really never had it tear any of my paper or pull to come off. Aren't these that little cherry dies cute? And then the straws we're going to have to cut twice. But we're going to get this one done. For those of you watching, is anybody have a stamp set that they just can't wait to order come Tuesday? I really like so many of them. All right, so let's pull in our little, our mini cut and emboss machine, and I'm just going to slide this. I know it's kind of takes up the whole screen, but I just want to be able to cut these all at once, and I thought the take a little less room, and then I wasn't running away from you over to the other area to cut these. Okay, now we have to cut one more of the, let's pop these out, and then cut one more of the straw, and we are good to go and put our card together. Okay, there's the cherry, and then let's just get this other. I'm going to pull my dies off here, and we're going to do the other straw, and then we're going to put our card together. So I think you can see me in the corner. I'm just kind of laying this down so that I can cut it. And then we're going to be done with cutting. Mary, you are in Indiana. I have a granddaughter that goes to Purdue, and she will be home on Thursday for the summer, and I am so excited about her coming home. So it's hard to believe, oops, her first year of college is done. So let's go ahead and take this off. And we're going to keep this over here because we're going to trim that to use it. So, all right, let's bring everything back in. So we are going to be using, I cut using the second largest scalloped edged rectangles. I cut two, one for the inside and one for the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere both of these to our scalloped. Now this is one of the stitched rectangle dies, and with those going away, you really can just cut, and if you don't have them, just cut a rectangle that measures the inside the stitching of this scalloped contour. All you'd have to do is kind of lay it down in between. It's like you do 2 1/8 by about 4, and you'd have a perfect rectangle to fit on the inside of this. So let's go ahead. Now this is an easy fun fold. It's kind of a flip up fun fold, and it's so versatile that you can use it with so many different dies or stamp sets too. Oops. All right. So one is for our inside and one is for our out. So now we're going to start to assemble. So we have our pieces parts. Here's a straw. Here's another straw. Here's our top to our milkshake. And we had the little cherry here. I'm not sure. Here it is. It fell. So there we go. Oops. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. So I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. So I cut my dimensionals in half, and I did that ahead of time. And I'm going to put one right here on the bottom. Sometimes I find cutting them in half, they just kind of fit better in some of the smaller places. I'm going to put one here. And then I always pop one in the middle, just because if it goes through the mail, I want it to be able to withstand if it goes through the machine. Now, when you are sending, just a little trick for sending some of the cards that you may use Stampin' Dimensionals on. If you take another piece of cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, same size as your card, and then run it through with an embossing folder and lay it over the top of your card, it flattens it out so that you don't have to pay. It's all even, one layer, and you don't have to pay for postage. Morning, Shirley. Thank you for joining us. So I want to show you, this is that little top, and there's the little slit, and I've cut 2 straws. So these are meant to kind of like slide through that little slit, and I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to hold those down with a glue dot. For me, that's I found is the easiest way to attach them. So I'm just going to slide them in there like that, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to pick up a glue dot, and we are going to just adhere those to the back of that milkshake top. So I'm just going to, whoops, there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and slide it in there and press it down. Now we're ready to attach this. So because I want this to lay on my milkshake glass, I'm going to leave the bottom without dimensionals and work from this part up so that I get a nice even, it lays nice and flat on the top of that cup. And I am going to pop a glue dot on there. Let's get this out of the way. I am excited today. I ordered some holders for my ink, my markers, and my blends. and they are due to come. I've been waiting 2 weeks for them, and I'm just so excited to get them. Did I take I didn't take the backs off. Well, that does make a difference, huh? I'm too busy talking. So let's go ahead, and these are it's gonna pop right there and just press down. Now, I'll tell you a little trick of what I did with these, because I don't want those to get bent in the mail or going through. So what I'm going to do is I have a little piece here, and I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim 2 small pieces off. And I mean, they are small. You can see how thin they are. And I'm going to peel off the back, and I'm going to place those under the straw. And that's easy to do. And that will hold those up. And let's do the second one. I just really like to adhere the little things like that, because I find otherwise they bend and then they don't look quite as nice. So there you go. And you know they aren't going to go anywhere. Now the last thing we have is our little strawberry. And I am going to cut another small. And this is just like a quarter. Now you could use a mini dimensional. I have those here, but since these are right here with me, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I had so much fun with this stamp set. I was really excited to get it. And like I said, I had waited because I was not sure it would stick around, and I'm glad it did. So here's our front. So now we're going to go ahead and adhere this, and you want it pretty even all the way around. So I'm only going to put some glue, and I'm actually, instead of glue, I think I'm going to use my, I was going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. So there's the top. So I'm going to run it right along the top here, and I'm going to run a second one right along next to it. And then my paper's sliding all around today. I'm going to go ahead and position it so that I feel it's pretty even on both sides and on the bottom. Okay, there's that. Now, we are going to use the Celebrate that we stamped for this. And I'm going to just kind of, let's bring in our trimmer, because I tend to do that straighter with the trimmer. So I'm going to bring this in, and you can see that. And I'm just going to go right along and trim that off. And then I'm going to trim it down a little bit. I don't want it as big. I would like it to be as thin as I can get it. I do this often. I don't do anything straight, as you know. So for me to use scissors would be a disaster for this to be straight. And then I'm going to trim this off. And that looks pretty good. Let's get this out of our way and bring our card in. Now I want this to just kind of sit on here. So I'm going to put a dimensional on each corner, but then I'm going to leave it set right across the soda glass so that it has some support there. So let's do this, and then pull up another one, and I'm going to pull a little one because this is going to be in the corner. And I want to line this up right with my stitching. And there we go. Now, to adhere this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on here because I want to be able to slide this. So let's go with our glue. Okay, and then I'm going to lay this right on top of my other scallop. So you can see it's pretty even. And then I'm simply going to take it and lay it down and press, lift this up, make sure it's straight. And again, why I use the glue, it needs straightened out just a little bit here. But it gives me the placement so that this is hidden behind our top flap. So to give it a little bit of an extra embellishment, I'm going to pull in my pastel pearls. These are retiring. I love these pearls. And they do have fresh freesia. And since we use that on our card, oh, I'm glad, Shirley, that's giving that some ideas. I'm glad. So I'm just going to throw a few of these on here. Now you could take some twine and maybe do a bow around the, I want to say vase, around the milkshake container, but I kind of like the dots. So here's our fun fold, quick and easy. Now, let me just remind you, if you don't have the scallops, it'll look great with just cutting rectangles. And if you want to add a little something to the rectangles, use an embossing folder and give it some texture. So you can make it work. You don't have to have everything I have. And actually, these are going away. So I gave you some ideas for the stitched rectangles. Let me come back to you. So I hope that you had enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed doing it for you. It's a fun stamp set. We're going to be doing a lot more with it in the future. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you liked today's video, please give me a thumbs up. It helps me grow my channel, and feel free to share it. And I will be back with you on Tuesday with an open catalog. And I hope you have a safe and wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon.